Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javanokelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me for another incredible session of the Daily African Proverbs. My name is Simon Javanokelo. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I'm just so excited to begin our session for today. As usual, we come here and share beautiful African proverbs, and we gain wisdom from these proverbs. We've always held beautiful conversations here that last for 1 hour, and at the end of that 1 hour, the hope is that we all live with something that is going to inspire us, that is going to equip us with knowledge and ideas that will help us face our day in a better way. So today we have an incredible proverb from Chad, and that's going to form the center of our conversation today. I hope you are all doing great. I am just about to adjust a few settings for this session today so that it's even much more interesting. So I encourage you to make sure you ping in 3 to 5 people from your own community that can join us for today's conversation, which is happening both on YouTube and also on Clubhouse. Our proverb here from Chad says that you cannot climb to the mountain. You cannot climb to the mountain top without crushing some weeds with your feet. You cannot climb to the mountain top without crushing some weeds with your feet. I want to pin this to the top of the room, and I also just want to give Steve a chance to say hi, and then I'm going to ask you to mute yourself so that we can build on this conversation and then create space for everyone to contribute as needed. Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Simon. Thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward to learn from today's proverb. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve, for making the time. Today is our last session this week. Throughout the week from Monday to today, we have been so persistent, and I'm always excited for Fridays, especially after putting in a lot of work and after just gaining so much, especially from this space. So one more time, our proverb from Chad says that you cannot climb to the mountain top without crushing some weeds with your feet. This is a famous African proverb from Chad, and I'm sure we have discussed it here. Maybe a year ago we discussed it here, and it reminds us that there is no such thing as a truly effortless journey. In order to reach our goals, we must be willing to put in a lot of hard work, and sometime in the process we step on people's toes, and friends become enemies, and sometime even with family, challenges arise in the course of growth, in the course of everyone trying to live a better life, and in the process, we forget that everybody is actually on a similar journey. Everybody is doing their best, So that's going to be the center of our conversation today. There is no such thing as a truly effortless journey. You have to be aware. You have to heighten your awareness in order for you to be able to coexist with everyone in a way that you're not harming others, but you're still continuing on, and you're climbing, and you're putting in the effort, because there's really no shortcut. So I have 3 takeaways to share with you, for you all to just think about for a moment. I do want to take a minute to just ping in a few people before I share the 3 takeaways for today's episode. And I also want to invite you, brother and Jag, to join us on stage if you can, so that we can just make this space a little warmer. Now, the first takeaway is there is no such thing as a truly effortless journey. If you take shortcuts, easy come, easy go. If you take shortcuts and get whatever you're looking for faster, it's going to go away faster, So it's a choice that you have to make. It's a choice you have to make. Then, 2, every step, every choice always has consequences, even the food that we all eat, almost every decision that we make, the decision not to hydrate enough in the course of the day makes you easily irritable, so especially for me, when I don't drink enough water towards the end of the day, if something little happens, the way that I react compared to when I've been drinking water all day, it's just a different feeling. So what this proverb is teaching us is that every action we take, every choice we make has consequences. So we just have to remember that we will be responding to the consequences along with every action and every step that we take. The third takeaway here is that the only way to achieve the true success is through hard work and dedication. These days, there are so many shortcuts that people tend to take, whether it's with school, whether it's with learning a new skill, whether it's, for me, sometimes it's even with working out. I don't, even though I feel that I'm really, really consistent with hosting the Daily African Proverbs and doing many other things in my life, I want to always work out every day. I want to do something. Well, I think I do something, but not enough. I always want to do more. It's something that I know that I could work more around. But whenever I'm consistent with working out and with taking better care of myself physically and mentally, I see the results that I've always looked for. But it takes a lot of sacrifice. You have to prioritize what you want to get better at, and without total hard work towards it and dedication, even if it's just working out, even if it's just reaching out to a few friends or increasing your revenue if you're a business person, all of it requires complete dedication, unless you're extremely privileged and you're getting help in regards to accomplishing the goals that you have. So I want to start our conversation with those few remarks, and I want to welcome you all to the Daily African Proverbs. We are here on Clubhouse, and we are also on YouTube. We are live streaming this conversation over there. Thank you for your continued support. I want to hear a few voices here before we continue on with our conversation. We are going to be here for 1 hour, and I am so excited that Steve is here, Lavender, Brother, Stella, and Jag. I actually haven't been pinging enough people since we started. So before we begin hearing your voices, Steve, and everyone in the room, I would love for you to take a minute, ping in 3 to 5 people to join us on Clubhouse. And also, if you're on YouTube, share the link to this live stream with a few friends that you think can join us. You can share it on Facebook or Twitter or on your Instagram stories, whichever platform you can reach, in a minute or so. And then, just bring your attention back to the room and think about what today's proverb means to you. You cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet. This proverb is from Chad. So we are going to come to you, Steve. Share with us your perspectives briefly. When you hear this proverb, what is it that comes to your mind? And also let us know where you are joining us from. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. And I'm joining from Kisumu, Kenya, and joining from our offices in Kisumu. Today's proverb is an interesting one and eye opener to I personally. And what comes to my mind and what this proverb reminds me that success, being successful does not require, it's not easy. It requires you to get out of your comfort zone and requires you to put all your energy into what you really want to achieve. And every great thing being achieved does not come easy. So allow me to leave it at such. But what it really reminds me of is success requires a lot of energy and dedication for you to get to those heights that you aspire to get to. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, really, there's no shortcut. The theme, the general idea is, no shortcuts, and people get shortcuts, but I can't think of some good examples of, people that we all know that have had it easy to the places where they are, but I think they are the majority, especially if you think about the political class, if you think about, a place like America, you find that unless you are of a certain class, you don't even know that shortcuts exist. You always just know the suffering and the struggle, similar to Kenya also. I'm talking of the places I grew up in. You don't know that shortcuts exist, but then as you grow up and learn and start interacting with people from different parts of the society, then you realize that, things are really messed up, and literally money can buy anything. I don't want to give specific examples at the moment, but I could later on if need be. And I just want to welcome you all to the African Father in America Club. If you haven't subscribed or if you haven't joined the club on Clubhouse, please take a moment and do so. We are discussing a Chadian proverb, a proverb from Chad. And every morning we gather here in the African Father in America Club, and we share ideas, we learn new proverbs and gain wisdom. And today we are taking a virtual journey to Chad. I shared 3 takeaways from today's conversation, 3 things that you should think about when it comes to this proverb. Some of the lessons that you can take away from this proverb that says you cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet. I want to hear if Lavender has a few thoughts as well. Share with us where you're joining us from, Lavender, and also what this proverb means to you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Simon. Hi, everyone. This is Lavender from, I'm speaking from Kenya. And I'm actually with a friend of mine whom I'd like to introduce and let them speak on our behalf or on my behalf. Thank you.
Hey, hello group. Hi, my name is the great Sobukwe Nonkwe. Yes, speaking live from Nairobi, Kenya. And Simon, it's been a while, but I see you're still doing your thing. And the proverb today is very interesting, very, very interesting. And I can look at it from very many angles. First angle I would say is politically. See, life is like a game of chess. And in a game of chess, you cannot win without sacrificing some pawns. So that's what this African proverbs reminds me of. Yeah, you have to sacrifice some pawns for you to win a chess game. So you cannot go up climb the mountain without stepping on some grass. Again, it also teaches me an important life lesson that you cannot please everybody when you're working your way to the top. There are some people who will have to feel like you have either neglected them or stepped on them. Yeah. So yeah, this is a very valid proverb, and it can be applied in your everyday life. Yeah. Otherwise, nice to meet you all.
This is a perfect surprise, you know. Hey, so which hole did Lavender dig you out of? Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, say something else. How was Mombasa? I know you're in Mombasa recently.
Oh yeah, man. I know Lavender insisted that I should surprise you. Yeah, so surprise. Yo, Mombasa was Mombasa-ing as usual.
And we have projects.
Yeah, I saw the
Mombasa was-
pictures. Anyway, for those who are meeting, Sobu is a really, really talented filmmaker from Nairobi, Kenya, and a photographer. Just a really talented brother. So, thank you. We should host you as a guest sometime so that we can really, really, put you on the spotlight. Anyway, Lavender, do you have any other thoughts? So, would you have any other thoughts before we listen to brother?
Yeah, this is Sobu still. I don't have another thought regarding the proverb. Just to let you know that I like what you're doing and can't wait for us to do more. And yeah, thanks for shouting me out. Thank you. Lavender, what was your point again?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sobu. And so my other thought about the proverb today is that when you're starting a journey or when you're interested in doing something, you should dive into it, give it your best, and let God do the rest. Thank you so much, Simon. There's Lavender from Kenya,
Hold on.
and I'm humble.
So, where are you guys? It seems like you're eating. Or just describe where you guys are to give others context. And, also, it means a lot that Sobu is here. Just this community and this small group here is really, really incredible. Many of you probably don't know how much this moment is special, but I just deeply appreciate it. So, Lavender, talk about where you guys are just for a moment. You guys seem to be having a very good time, so share it just for maybe another minute, and then we'll let you go.
I'll let Sobu describe where we are at and what we are doing currently. Thank you so much.
Yo, Simon. So me, I was just sitting in my house, comfortably resting, doing nothing but listening to music. Then Lavender calls me and invites me over for some photos. She wanted me to take some photos of some business she was up to. So I come here. I've been treated to one of the most delicious meals I've had this year. I wish I could send you the taste, not even the pictures. But anyway, you are lost. As for those of us who are here, we really enjoy on your behalf. Yeah, me and Lavender are working on some projects. Yeah, this is the one we've started today, and there's others to come. And another one. Yeah, they all revolve around one vibe. I don't want to disclose much for now. The devil is listening, and he might interfere with our plans. But when they have started, we'll let you know. Yeah, how have you guys been?
Good, man. Good. This is great. I love what you guys are doing. You're crushing some weeds. Just exactly what this proverb is saying. When you guys are, when you're climbing to the mountaintop without you cannot go there without crashing some weeds, and you guys are just doing amazing. I'm really proud of you, Sobu, by the way, and Lavender, and I truly appreciate you all. I want to just give brother a chance to also contribute to our conversation. For me, it's really special to be very in a space like this, sharing African proverbs. This is a vulnerable process, For me, it took a while for me to even gain the confidence to not only have a conversation with people I'm close with, but also with, people that I'm becoming close with, and people that we are literally building a really unique community here, and that's really special for me. So I just wanted to express that, and thank you all so much. So, brother, share with us your perspectives as well on this proverb and where you're joining us from.
Peace and love, family. This is Brother Earth. I'm calling from the North Carolina territory. And again, always honors to the family for bringing forth the wisdom of the ancestors and order, to help give us insight. And pretty much, the buddy Soobo, if I got his name wrong, pardon self, he said a lot what I was thinking. It's an old saying. I might murder it, but pardon self. But it says, all of the time you may be able to please some of the people, or some of the time you may be able to please all of the people, but you can never please all of the people all of the time. And long as you moving forward on this journey of this thing we call life, long as you are not intentionally being malicious or purposely being hurtful, you will continue to sin in this life journey. And that's what I add to the conversation. Peace and love, family. It's Brother Earth.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you cannot please all the people all the time. That's a powerful, powerful message. Thank you again, my brother Earth, for being here and for your continued support. I also want to invite you all to take a minute, ping in 3 to 5 people to join us if you're on Clubhouse, and also take a minute to share the link to this room on other platforms and also here on Clubhouse. And feel free to clip the nuggets that you're hearing from this conversation and tweet it, and we will be able to retweet it. This is a really special space where we gather every Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we share new African proverbs. This is like the village fire where we learn, we gain wisdom, we make connections, and it's a safe space where, I hope that you feel comfortable to share the way that you're hearing others are sharing. So our proverb today from Chad says, you cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet. Stella, what is it that comes to your mind when you hear this proverb? Share with us your thoughts and where you're joining us from.
Thank you, Simon. This is Stella from Kenya. Hello, everyone who is here today. I think since I started listening to these proverbs and reading them and trying to understand them, I've grown fond of Chad proverbs. Like they just keep you grounded. You look at one and you're like, okay. So like this one today, it just shows you that life is not a straight line. And if you look at that photo, that is basically how it is. And it just means it is a literal meaning of the proverb. Some days you're down, some days you're up, some days you're crashing things, some days you're calm. And that is just how life is. And I think that's beautiful in a way. Because if it was just a straight line, then it would be boring. So I think the proverb is also, in a way, encouraging us that whatever you go through, that's it. And there was no any other better way. Thank you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Stella. Yeah, it seems like what you're saying also it relates to this other saying that the journey is the journey is the destination. That what you see along the way is what you see along the way, and the experiences you go through along the way as you work towards your goal, as you work to build your career, to take care of yourself, to impact your community through your efforts. The struggle that you're going through, and as you envision what you want to see in the world, is also part of what you should be seeing, and you should sit with it and enjoy it, but also be okay with it. Another part of what I've gathered in our conversation is being okay with making people uncomfortable, or also being uncomfortable as you pursue your dreams. So our conversation today has really, really been incredible. We don't have a lot of people on stage, and so we're going to do another round of conversation here. Again, our proverb from Chad says, "You cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet." And this story, this proverb, reminds me of the story of what's going on in Sri Lanka, and it also reminds me of something that is going on in Kenya, where Raila Odinga, who has been, someone that is considered a freedom fighter for Kenya, and is also a known figure across Africa as a change agent, is running for presidency. And I think he's someone who has, he's trying to climb to the mountaintop, but he also knows, and he has also crushed a lot of weeds with his feet. But I think there's a unique connection between his story and this proverb that we are discussing today. But also there's another unique connection to this proverb with what is going on in Sri Lanka, where the president has actually fled the country because the cost of living there just went beyond anything that has ever been seen. There were videos of people had taken over the state house and the presidential palace, and people are swimming in the presidential pool and working out in the gym, cooking in the kitchen. It was an incredible scene. And the president must have crushed a lot of weeds, according to this proverb, on their way to being on that mountaintop, in that palace, and living there and running the country without really being aware of the condition of the people, and coming up with ideas and solutions of how it could, the living conditions and the cost of food could be mitigated, how that situation could be managed. And so it was until everything fell apart is when maybe the president is realizing that things were really not right. So I feel that if you think about these two stories, there's so much to appreciate about heightening your awareness and being patient, and knowing that no situation is permanent. You could be, in Raila Odinga's case, you could be in detention, being tortured for being a revolutionary or trying to transform the country today, and then the next day you are in a position where you have a lot of resources, you have millions of people that believe in you, and you literally have an opportunity to lead one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. So just having the influence that he has, he probably didn't imagine that when he was in detention, and the Sri Lankan president probably didn't imagine having to flee his country before December 2022, and so just heightening your awareness and knowing that, no matter how things are good, it's not permanent. And also, no matter how things are hard, it's also not permanent. Life evolves and seasons change, and we should expect, similar things to happen to us. So, when we are going through difficult times, we should embrace it just as much as we embrace the good times. So I want you all to take a moment and share with us an example of what is it that is going on, in the world right now, around you right now, that you feel gives us a good example of you cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet. Something that is going on around the world at the moment. Think about that. And if you don't have any example or any story, just share with us your reflections on this week. Majority of you on the stage have been attending the Daily African Proverbs consistently this week. Share with us your perspectives on, what really stood out for you this week in regards to the Daily African Proverbs. And if you don't have any thoughts, that's fine too. We'll hear what anyone on stage has to say. So it's going to be an open floor, so feel free to unmute whenever you're ready. So I'll continue speaking here for a moment. My name is Simon Okello. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I am the host of the African Father in America podcast. I host this show every Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And my goal is to continue staying consistent and continue building an intimate community of people that appreciate African wisdom and just love, being mindful and, learning through these African proverbs. And these proverbs are literally things that were written by our ancestors, things that was discussed like this by many of our ancestors. So this space is really special for me, and I hope that you all find it special. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so at the link at the top of the room. That's one way that you can support this effort. And also, if you haven't followed the African Father in America club here on Clubhouse, take a minute and do that. I invited Carol on stage, but I'll just give you a minute to settle in. Today we are discussing a proverb from Chad. And this proverb says that you cannot climb to the mountain top without crushing some weeds with your feet. The way that we run this room is that you share with us your perspectives on what this proverb means to you, and you also share with us where you are joining us, where in the world are you. So whenever you feel ready, just double tap your microphone and I'll give you a chance to speak. I had posed a question to the room earlier that besides giving us your interpretation, you can also share with us an example of what you see going on around the world that this proverb reminds you about. So Carol, if you'd like to speak, go ahead.
Hi, I am Carol. I am from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I do need a moment to reflect on the proverb. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol, for joining us. We, as I was saying earlier, we do this Monday to brother. You want to say something?
Yeah, peace and love, family. This is Brother Earth. And Simon, honest to you, man, for all that you do and constantly do, to keep this moving forward. It's a lot of hard work, and you do it and make it look easy. And I just want to tip my hat to you. But an example of how I see the proverb And today, you know, as I look around myself and coming to the understanding of who I am and studying myself and having a knowledge of self and understanding that I'm not just black, you know, that I have a nationality, that I'm Moorish American. A lot of times, you know, in certain situations or, you know, certain times when in a situation where I'm going back and forth with a European or a Caucasian, and I had to let them know that I'm not black and actually you're not white. You know, the Europeans or the Caucasians, their last name tell them where their ancestors come from. But a lot of times, you know, we carry the Europeans' last names or the Caucasians' last name as well. So when as I'm telling them that, you know, I no longer identify as, you know, what I had been reduced to, it's like stepping on weeds. And I tell them, you know, it ain't that I'm attacking who you are or what y'all do. It's just that I'm standing forward for who I am and trying to grow and evolve for me and my people. And a lot of times, you know, it's reviewed negative, it's received negatively, or uh, like I said, almost as if I'm stepping on someone, when yet and still I'm just, you know, continuing my journey and, you know, continue on my process of ascension. And it ain't no ill will or no malice. So I got to continue, you know, to teach my brothers and sisters that's been raised in these same conditions that you're not just black. You have a nationality. We denationalize ourselves when we, you know, accept the term black or African American. But that's how I see the proverb from as for myself in a day-to-day basis. I'll park my plane right there. Peace and love, fam.
Thank you so much, my brother. I deeply appreciate your perspective and the example that you just shared with us. I want to welcome everyone who is just joining us, Bernard and Jay and Rushi, of course Sarah and Roger and Jack, who have been here with us from the very beginning. I deeply appreciate you. We are here for another session of the Daily African Proverbs. This show is called the Daily African Proverbs, but my podcast is called the African Father in America podcast. It's available across all podcasting platforms. And I think this is episode 235. We have over 100,000 downloads on this podcast right now. And that's because of all of you. So if you haven't listened to it on Apple Podcasts, please remember to subscribe and, share it over there and rate this podcast too, when you listen to it on Apple Podcasts. And, I want to share that today's proverb is from Chad, and it's really incredible. It says that you cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet. And we've learned so much today, and we are also talking about a couple of things. One is we want to know, where is it that you're joining us from? What is it that this proverb means to you? And do you have an example in the world currently of what you think is going on that this proverb reminds you about? So, on stage we have Jay now, and of course Carol and Stella and Brother and Lavender. I want to keep the floor open, so anybody can just unmute and speak. You can just double tap and speak whenever you're ready. Thank you so much.
This is Jay speaking, Brother Simon, and for everyone else in the room. I'm coming from Seattle, Washington. And I had to think about this proverb for a moment, like Carol. And for me, it's like if you're trying to accomplish or achieve a goal, and that goal is going to require a little work, such as climbing a mountain, but it's a goal that's going to require a lot of time and attention. Um, you're always going to have something that's going to get in your way, whether it's haters, people that don't believe in you, people that don't support you, people that are trying to trip you up. You just like weeds that can get in the way if you're trying to grow a healthy or beautiful garden or flower garden, vegetable garden, whatever it is. There's constantly weeds that will get in your way, and the same thing, and that you have to purge, that you need to remove. So you have to pay attention to that. And the same applies when you're trying to accomplish a goal or reach a goal. There's always going to be something that will get in your way. And it's really how determined you are, that you're just going to have to step on some of those situations and circumstances and to remove them, to purge them, and to get them out of your way so that you can finally reach the goal that was meant for you. So it takes a lot of drive and a lot of determination in order to do that, and to know where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, what you want to achieve. And you're just not going to let the things that's meant to hinder you get in your way. And this is Jay, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that a lot. As you're speaking, I was also reminded that, this, as you identify where you want to go, like you're saying, and the other aspect of that is identifying who has probably gone there or who has taken that journey before, and how you can work with them, how you can collaborate with them so that they can help you walk your own journey, who can mentor you, who can give you the resources that you need. Let's say that the direction you wanted to take is to get educated, and once you get educated, you might want a job, or you might want to start a business. So you always need support, But in the process of getting the support that you need, sometimes, we don't embrace it when we get it. We feel that for example, if somebody is helping you, you need to help them, or you need to do something more than you're doing, and so we shy away from seeking help. For example, me right now, I am producing Madaraka Festival, and there are people I know that if I called this person, he would fund this whole thing, but I have probably called that person before and they didn't do what I was hoping for. So even though I know this person can help, I'm like, no, I'll just stay with this thing that I think in my mind, But I feel that what you're saying, Jay, is that, we should push it. We should not worry about what people say, but we should stay focused on our dreams and our visions, and keep going and keep aiming for the highest levels that we can. So I deeply appreciate that. I just want to go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say that's true, Brother Simon. And sometimes you have to think about what's that person's motivation in helping, and is it worth the price? So even though an individual can help you, or a company, an organization, or business, what's the price that you're going to have to pay for their support and their assistance? And is it really worth it in the long run? Thank you, Brother Simon.
Yeah, that's it. What's the price? What's the price? And I don't know what else to say about that, because if you're not willing to pay for that price, then you have to build the discipline, the patience, and creativity, and creativity, so that you can find other solutions, which is another entire conversation. It's another entire episode of this session. So I appreciate that.
It is, brother. I meant, is it worth your soul? That's what I meant. Is the price worth your soul to get their engagement, to get their involvement? So what is the price to you personally? That's what I meant, brother.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Is the price worth your soul? Yeah. I was talking to a filmmaker yesterday, who has mentored quite a few filmmakers here in Seattle, and he's in his 70s, so he was really sharing with me a lot of the projects he has done, because I'm also an aspiring filmmaker, and I was sharing with him what I have done, and he's helping me with Madaraka Festival. He's advising, and so as we were speaking, I realized that he has done so many things that I actually ended up asking him, which project did he do that made him feel like he was going to sell his soul, where did he feel like he had gone too far, and that was a question that was never answered, but now Jay is making me think about having a follow-up conversation with this friend, and just talking more about, as people are creating content and as people are creating films and sessions like this, how does this apply? How does this apply to to what we're putting out? So many thoughts that are coming out of this conversation for me. I just want to thank you all for being here for today's session of the Daily African Proverbs. The theme of our conversation is, there's no such thing as a truly effortless journey. And our proverb is from Chad. It says that you cannot climb to the mountaintop without crushing some weeds with your feet. I want to keep the stage open. If anybody has, some perspectives to share, this is a good time for you to speak. Thank you so much. I feel that we are getting towards the end of our time together today, and today is Friday. So if you haven't listened to any of our conversations throughout the week, they're all available on, the podcasting platforms where you listen to your podcasts, be it Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We are also currently live on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, the link is at the top of the room, and you can do that now. And also give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can notice that there are people engaging with this content that we are putting out. And if you have time, leave your comment on this. This proverb is also my latest Instagram post. So if you haven't engaged with me on Instagram, that's where I would say on all social media platforms I spend a lot of my time, and also push a lot of what I do. I do a lot of different things, so if you want to stay up with me, or you want to stay informed about all the engagements that I have, the projects that I'm a part of, Instagram would be the place where I would suggest that you go to. And the link on my Instagram is my Linktree, and it will take you to all the projects that I'm involved with currently. Thank you again, for taking the time, and really thank you for trusting me with this part of your day. I have a lot of love and respect for many of you in this room, and sometimes I honestly pinch myself that I got the attention of Jag and Rushi and Sarah and Roger for almost an hour. Many times I know that I'm actually figuring it out as we go. I am learning, and I'm getting better, and I'm trying to engage, but also, I am trying to produce and look at other things behind the scene that you all are probably not aware of. So, it takes a lot of courage for me to be able to do this every Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And really, I could not do this without you and the support you're giving me. I know that you can't show up every day like I do, but I encourage you to let people know about what you experience in this room. take a moment and just let someone know, share with them the link from today's conversation, and let's continue building this beautiful space. So with that, we've come to the tail end of our time together. If you missed the 3 takeaways from our session here today, you can listen to it from the beginning. I shared it in the first 3 or so minutes of our session. And thank you again. Have a beautiful weekend. Take great care of yourselves. Peace and love.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African father, tujikaze, America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington.